Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the show. I'm your host, Arnhem Lander, and today, playing Baldur's Gate. Alright, so another game that I've been looking forward to introducing into the main rotation. Based on the heavily popular tabletop role-playing game Dungeons & Dragons, which I have long since been a fan of ever since I was but a wee boy. And now we have this game, which is the best representation of the paper and dice game. It pretty much includes everything. Like, if you can play Baldur's Gate 3, you could probably roleplay and play D&D. And that's really cool, so let's get into it. So yeah, that's gonna be a big no for me on the worm. No, oh my god, that would be horrifying. Uh, hmm. Illithid tadpole in the eyeball. No, thank you. That thing is a mind-flayer. If you may have heard of such a thing on Stranger Things, for example, where they talk about D&D. And that's supposed to be one of their little mind slugs going into our brain, unfortunately. That's how the game begins.
Who are you?
So now we get to make our character. So I was just trying to decide what to do, what kind of character to make, you know. Always a very difficult decision when you're playing a game like this, right? Full-on role-playing game. Your character is important. So I thought about it before the stream. And I think I'm going to go with a drow. I haven't played a drow yet. Let's see what they start with. Dancing lights. So we can create some lights, illuminate a 30-foot radius. That's good. So every race has its own features. Perceptions, +3 to perception checks. That's good. I'm gonna go with, I'm thinking a roguish, kind of smooth-talking, gray character, if you will, both literally and morally. I normally play, Starnum is normally a high elf paladin, upholds justice and fights for good and stuff like that. I think for this character, I'm gonna go different though. I like to see different things. In different playthroughs. So I think this time I'm going to go with a morally ambiguous character, a rogue, I think would be good for that. And I'm going to see if I can just talk my way through anything and everything as much as I can, and hopefully not get the party into too much trouble in the process. Drow weapon training, proficient with rapiers, short swords, hand crossbow. was thinking 2 short swords, actually, or 2 swords. We'll see. I'm going to dual wield. Superior dark vision. Can see up to 80 feet in the dark. Drow normally live underground in the Underdark. Kind of curious to see. I haven't noticed any of this yet in the game, but I wonder if there will be any kind of like discrimination based on your race, because normally surface dwellers don't get along with Drow very well, so I wonder if that's going to come into play or not. We're going to find out. So he's got rapiers, maybe rock a rapier. Short sword proficiency and hand crossbows. Alright, sounds good. Sub-race. Loth Sworn Drow. Raised by Loth's cult in the city of Minzobaranzan, these Drow embody the virtues of their corrupt and merciless goddess. Loth marks her followers with bright red eyes, so those in the Underdark will learn to fear them on sight. Okay, maybe. What's the other one? I'm familiar with Loth and the Underdark and Minzobaranzan, because like I said, I am a D&D nerd from way back. And I've read a lot of the books, you know. So, but what is Sildarin Drow? What is that? Sildarin Drow can be found seeking allies from all over Faerun, aiming to settle their conflict with Loth and each other by any means necessary. This almost sounds more like a good Drow. Unfortunately, most Drow tend to be evil-leaning, to be nice about it, I guess. But yeah, so it's pretty rare to have a Drow that goes against Loth and Minzobaranzan and everything. So I'm gonna be a Sildarin Drow. See, we got all these different classes here. You can choose from. If you're not familiar with D&D, Baldur's Gate, this is a great game. I highly recommend it. But just check it out. I'm going to try to go over everything for you guys. I know a lot of you probably already know all about all this. But just for anyone who's not as familiar, we'll kind of go over some of the basics. Warlock, sorcerer. The difference between a sorcerer and a warlock and a wizard, right? What's that? Why are there 3 different things for people who use magic? A wizard's more like someone, well, right there it says, master of the arcane, by specializing in individual schools of magic combining ancient spells with modern research. Like a sage, someone who learns learns the laws of reality and how to manipulate them. Kind of like a scientist, I would dare say. A warlock, on the other hand, is bound by a pact to an all-powerful patron, like a demon or something. Warlocks trade their loyalty for supernatural abilities and unique magics. And a sorcerer is someone who is naturally gifted with magic, drawing on inherent magic from a gift or bloodline. So a wizard has to study and learn how to master the laws of reality, whereas a sorcerer can just use what we call the will in the word. You just think it and you speak it into being, basically. And so the stats kind of derive different when you're trying to do things, whereas a wizard's going to be using his intelligence to cast his spells. A sorcerer may draw on his charisma, which is, again, like, you know, his force of will and his ego, his personality, you know, charisma, his riz. You know, sorcerers are all about that riz, is what I'm saying. But we're not going to be a sorcerer today. We're going to be a rogue. With stealth, skill, and uncanny reflexes, rogues' versatilities lets them get the upper hand in almost any situation. You can sneak attack from up close and from a distance. Dexterity savings throws. A savings throw is like when you've made an oopsie or something and you need to roll to save yourself from a situation, if you will. So a dexterity saving throw might be something like you've stepped on a trap. Can you react appropriately to not set off the trap and get yourself hurt. Or it might just be like you jump back real quick and only take half damage. That could be sometimes a saving throw is just to reduce damage or whatever. But that's essentially how a saving throw works. It's just a roll you make in a situation to save yourself from a situation or whatever. Maybe you just did a verbal gaffe and now you've got to backpedal. You could do a persuasion saving throw or something like that. So it really depends on the situation, but that's generally how a saving throw goes. Simple weapon proficiency, just being proficient with certain types of weapons. Simple weapons are just like daggers and stuff like that. Small basic weapons, hand crossbow, a long sword, rapier, short sword. And you got to be proficient in armor too. You know, you think like, oh, what's the big deal with armor? You just put it on and wear it. But well, no, there might be more to it than that. You got to know how to put it on and take it off for one, and how to move in it appropriately. You know, if you just put on some armor and you don't know how to move in it, you're going to be a clumsy goof. You know, like battle takes skill and training. Moving on. Now we're asking for our background. What is the background? After surviving a poor and bleak childhood, you know how to make the most of very little. Using your street smarts bolsters your spirit for the journey ahead. This gives us a proficiency to sleight of hand and stealth. Pretty good. So the backstory is important. It's more so in tabletop role playing. In this case, we mainly want to focus on the skill proficiencies here. Athletics and intimidation, arcana and history, athletics and survival, history and persuasion, noble perhaps, insight and persuasion, that one's pretty good, guild artisan. Deception, charlatan, insight, revenge. Like I said, I want to be a smooth talking kind of like character, so bending the truth and turning allies against each other will lead to greater success down the road. Perhaps a charlatan. Deception. Sleight of hand. Deception. Stealth. Just straight up criminal. Maybe not that. Stealth. Stealth is good too, but just thinking about it a little bit. I think we'll go with charlatan. That seems to fit the character I have in mind the best. Then you have your ability points. I'll just go over these real quick. Most of them are pretty self-explanatory. Strength, how strong you are. Dexterity, how agile you are. Constitution's like how tough you are. How smart you are. Intelligence. Wisdom is like how much you know versus like how quickly you learn. And intelligence. Charisma, that's that Riz again. That's how like, you know, persuasive you are. And such things. They give you the recommended already, right? A lot of dexterity and some intelligence is what they're saying. Personality improves spellcasting for bards, paladins, sorcerers, and warlocks. Influences trade prices. Plus +1 to intelligence, memory, and mental power. Improves spellcasting for wizards. +3 to saving throws. +1. Like, what kind of savings throws? I go to 12. What would that do? Bring that Riz up? I don't know if that's going to matter much, really. Not sure. I'm down 16. 12. 12. Oh, I've got an extra point somehow. Okay. Strength is so low. That's okay, though. Normally, I play a strength character. But for this, I'm kind of trying to go like mental, persuasion, deception, stealth, and agility. You know what I mean? So here's the thing with D&D, right? Normally you get a +1 bonus for every 2 points over 10 on a stat. So having an odd number on a stat isn't really going to do much for you unless you have something that gives you another bonus on top of that. Like say if I put on a helmet that gives me a +1 to intelligence, then that could turn a 13 into a 14. But otherwise, I'm still only going to normally have a +1 with 13 with a 13. You need a 14 to have a +2, right? I want my guy to have a little bit more Riz than what they're trying to give him here to start off with. So I think 16, 14, 12, 13, 12 is pretty good. We've come down with some. Go to 12 on that. That's. What would that do for us? Put that 13. Look, I got 2 points. We can go 14 on intelligence, honestly. 14 intelligence, 12, 12. Well, you can bring this down too. You can kind of play with it if you want. Oh, here. It won't let me go over 17. I have a 13 on that. Constitution, I don't need that much Constitution. They originally wanted me to have, was it, I already forgot. There was a 13 on like intelligence, right? We're on a 14 now. That's as high as that can go. This is basically going to be my stats for most of the game. I don't like starting a character with something under a 10. We're going to have to do that on strength. It's appropriate for this character, though, for him to have a -1 to strength checks, because he's all about like skill and agility and deception. Because you got that -1. You see right there, it says -1 to strength checks. A check is like whenever you're trying to check to see if you can do something. So you're like, I want to pick up this really heavy boulder. Okay, well, that's going to require a strength check. Or I want to jump over this gap. All right, that's going to require a dexterity check. So right now we got a +3. If we had an 18, it'd give us a +4. But I can't go higher than a 17 with a starting character. +1 there, +2 there. I feel like I still have a point left, yeah. Force of personality. I want to be all personality, honestly. But I don't want to compromise too much. On some of this. I hope this is going to have the effect. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. What if we went 14 on charisma? That's what I'm saying. I want to be very persuasive. Still have 12, 14, and 16. That's still a +3 either way. You see what I'm saying? It's just that if it's an odd number, then you might get like somebody might cast a spell on you to give you a +1, Or you might, like I said, you might equip an item that gives you a +1 to that stat, and then you're just that much closer to getting your next, +1 bonus to the stat or whatever. But I really like this song that plays too while you're making your character. I've spent a lot of time in character customization. That's why I tried to think ahead of what I wanted to do, but you never really know about the stats until you kind of get into it. I think I like this build right here, though. +2. Apply bonuses, +2 bonus dexterity, +1 intelligence. Is that like extras, or? Seems good. +5 to acrobatics. +7 to stealth. 2 to investigation. 1 insight. Persuasion. I don't know if I could make that go up anymore. I don't think I can. Because it's already got points on it, right? Let me see. If I take something off of performance, can I put it on there? Nope, it's either added or take it away. Okay. Entertain audiences and command the stage. I don't know if I need that as much. I think I'd almost rather be... Here's the thing is, like, you can either persuade or intimidate. I'm not sure if there's a situation where it's better to do one than the other. It's almost like, why not just put all your points into one or the other? I'm not sure if some NPCs respond better to persuasion or intimidation more than the other. I think it's just like whichever one has the higher stat, right? You're going to get the bonus, basically, from whichever one. Or maybe in some situations you can only do one or the other. I'm not sure. So I usually just go with one or the other. In this case, we're trying to persuade people. Insight's good. Read people in situations, detect lies. I think I'd rather be able to do that more. There we go. Investigation's good too. Analyze clues and solve mysteries. Stealth, we got a lot of stealth. Can't argue with that. Keep your balance, land on your feet. Yeah. I kind of want to take a little bit from stealth to put it on investigation. How much does that take off? It goes down. It takes off 4 points. Oh no, 2 points. My bad. Was it at a? Wait, what? Wasn't it at a 7 before? I messed it up. That's crazy. I wonder why it says 5 now. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know. That is bizarre. Sleight of hand +7. Why is it so much? Oh, what? I can take off of that? I did not know that you could do that. That is really crazy. Athletics. Huh. Okay, go back on stealth? Oh, that is... Huh. That is very bizarre. I'm so confused by that. Let's go back. Undo skills. No. Yeah, you gotta be careful with this game, dude. Oh man, what is up with that, I wonder? Those 7s, why did those 7s turn into 5s? Yeah, I can already tell you I am not going to be able to figure that out. So maybe it's just a glitch or something. I hope it doesn't nerf my character. Oh man, that is crazy. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I don't get it. You're not. That's gonna bug me, but I'm not gonna be able to figure out what's up with that. I don't think so. Hopefully it's nothing. I don't know, guys. That's crazy. So yeah, persuasion, insight. I don't know. That was weird. Oh, I went back. Maybe that's what it was. What? Skill proficiency and skill expertise. Okay. Very bizarre. I did not notice this before. Maybe that's what it was. Okay. It would maybe because I was on skills and I clicked on something and it took it off of skill expertise before I got to it or something. Very strange. Okay, but let's go to skill expertise. I think that's it. So I want to specialize in all plus fives. Is it so? This is the current total in uh, persuasion, yeah, and deception maybe. Lie and cheat. Turn on the charm. Coax and cajole. Observe your environment. Spot hidden details. Read people and situations. Detect lies. Oh. I have to choose, you know. These are all fives. That's pretty good. You don't want to skimp too much on your physical attributes because we're going to need them. So that's good. Kind of have a conundrum here though because persuasion and deception are very similar, right? Lie and cheat. But I think it's going to be better if we want to be able to read people really well, so that kind of like cover both bases about both being persuasives ourselves and being able to read people. So, all right. Very detailed stuff. Sorry, we got to get through here. Now we get to the fun part, the appearance. I haven't thought too much about what he's going to look like, but I don't think I'm going to need too much time to figure it out.
Where to next?
What was that?
Let's hope the locals are friendly.
Hells. Something just woke up.
Be wary.
It's opened.
More of those wretched things.
There's magic keeping this chest sealed.
Where?
What was that?
whole lot of hair options. Whole lot of hair options. But don't worry, I'm going to find this a good one. It's a tough choice. A lot of good options. Fortunately, we gotta pick something. I don't know, I'm torn, you know? I like this one, honestly. Precision Bolt. It's a little bit more of the tamed down Mythmaker. Maybe a little bit more natural looking. I get it. That's very anime, you know. Not that that's anything I'm opposed to necessarily, but, you know, what's best for general audiences? No, this one's good too. I like this one, but it's a little too sexy, maybe. I don't know if the world can handle it. Three Peaks, not bad. What was that other one? There's one more I was considering. The Savant. That's pretty good. That's where we have to make a decision to really get those drow ears out with Savant too. Peak's not bad. Keep coming back around. Precision ball. 10 years, pretty good with that one too. See how it looks from a distance. I like it. how woo do we really want to go? Now I was thinking about going with black hair. I just wanted to see what it would look like. What's this one over here? Black Raven? Blue black? It's kind of messy, you know, but a little stylish. It's not quite as exaggerated as the Mythmaker. It's a decent compromise, I think, for what I had in mind. Highlights, man. Let's take a look at him. Is this our guy? Is this him? This might be him. I think this could be our guy. Review the character. Everybody, I'd like you to meet our protagonist, Trast.
You need a guardian.
Now here's the thing. We also need a guardian. So I'm going to try to make this real quick.
Remarkable.
Good luck.
Let us play with your luck. Let us play with your luck. Let us play with your luck. Y'all familiar with that one? Let us play with your luck. Let us play with your luck. I can just keep get louder and louder. Let us play with your luck. No, that would be horrible. Sorry. It's a late night skit. Sorry. Just trying some stuff out. You know, seeing what looks good. What could look good? Aqua 5? It's kind of neat looking. Let's rock it. Yeah, this opening's pretty crazy. It's like you've been abducted by mind-flayers and taken aboard a mind-flayer airship. And I guess these Gith forces are attacking the airship because some of their people have been abducted by it. There's a bunch of people. The Illithid, as the mind-flayers call themselves. They're like attacking a city, right? And they're abducting people, so other people are trying to stop him, basically. And he just teleported, right? That's pretty wild. Apparently they can follow behind him, though. They have their own magics to open portals. I think Trast looks pretty cool. I think he came out alright. Doesn't look like...
My head.
He doesn't like stick out like a sore thumb, you know. That's the main thing you want to go for when you're making a character.
Someone else got out. Odd. I feel better.
Yes, you've come to save us from this place. From this place you'll free us.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Please. Before they return. They return. A newborn. Born new from this husk.
You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the mind-flayers who abducted you.
Horrible. I think you're past the point of saving. Gruesome, I know, but it will prevent... Well, for one, it releases the host from this horrible state. And it prevents the brain from turning into one of these horrible little creatures. You'll see what I'm talking about.
This is your end. Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the strange woman's eyes. Ugh. My head. What is this? Ugh. Skvar. You are no thrall. Vlaakith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
What made you think I was a thrall?
We carry mind-flayer parasites. Unless we escape, unless we are cleansed, our bodies and minds will be tainted and twisted. Within days, we will be Geich, mind-flayers.
We're turning into mind flayers? There must be something we can do.
We can do nothing until we escape. That must be our priority. First, we exterminate the imps. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. We will address the matter of a cure for this infection once we reach the material plane.
Alright, so here we have our first combat, and as you can see, it is turn-based.
You've made a grave mistake.
That's quite alright.
Time to strike. Let Let my name be known.
Let's do a little flourish on him. So each turn
Swift and lethal.
you have a movement. You can move so far, in this case 30 feet in most cases. You have your movement,
On the move.
and then you have your attack. And you also have a bonus action. That's what the flourish
You proved
was.
surprisingly adequate in battle. Now, to the helm.
Ship won't be able to take another dragon attack. We need to get out before it's too late.
I love how the ship is all like a living organism. Open the sphincter. So I've played the game before. I haven't finished it yet. No, not by a long shot. But yeah, don't touch this console when you come in here. It awakens these guys, basically.
You! Get me out of this damn thing! We have no time for stragglers.
The construction is too alien. Nothing looks familiar.
This ship is crashing. Do you intend to die for a stranger?
So this is you get certain dialogue options based on your race, your class, stuff like that. This one says, "You might as well be trapped in demon webs. There's no helping you." No, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna try to be not too bad of a guy.
Try that contraption next to the pod.
Self-serving for sure, but
They sealed me in. Hurry! Please!
not just like a straight-up bad guy.
The console appears dormant. The mechanisms are completely unrecognizable at first, but then you spy an empty socket.
Whatever fits in that socket must power this thing.
Gotta find something to put in the socket. Another scimitar.
How
A
many
gold
hosts of these
key.
gay infected?
A dazed woman is trapped inside the pod. She doesn't notice you.
See that little brain creature? Yeah, not good.
As you place your hand on the pod, you hear something. A presence connected to the pod, commanding the person inside to change.
Kinchar,
Yikes.
Changed at the pull of a lever. How? If we are not purified, this may be our fate.
Is this
So I did that so y'all could see what that was about.
This might unlock those controls next to the pod.
Okay, we got the Eldritch Rune that we needed. Just give that Intellect Devourer a wide berth. Not that it's not too hard to deal with, but they hit kind of hard, but they die pretty easily, so.
The console appears dormant. The console hums to life. But what is its purpose? Will it free the captive, or transform her like that other unfortunate? Suddenly, you feel a hideous squirming in your head. The parasite. Then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection. Authority.
And now, like in D&D, we need to do a dice roll to get our check. Now, the difficulty class is the number that you need to roll. You need to roll that number or higher. So in this case, very, very easy. I mean, I got a 3. Wisdom gave that a +1.
You feel the biomechanical brain of the console process your command and yield to it. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
At last. Thought I was done for. Thought that damn thing was going to be my coffin. Thank you.
Your mind lurches into her thoughts. Her gratitude is mixed with wariness, because you have a gift with you.
You keep dangerous company.
Ooh. Like I said, there is some discrimination among these people's. Dangerous company is what you need in a fight. Got a problem with Githyanki? Did you feel that just now? We were in each other's heads.
I did. It must be because of those parasites they put in us. They'll have to wait. I need to get off this ship alive first. Let me come with you. We can get off this ship and watch each other's backs along the way.
Alright then, let's get going. I'm Trast.
Shadowheart. One moment.
What's that?
It's nothing. Trust me.
Enough of this chatter.
Okay.
We need to get to the helm. Now.
She's right. Lead on.
Alrighty. And that's what the gold key unlocks. Got an onyx and 13 gold.
We are nearing the helm. Once inside, do as I say.
Who put you in charge? I'll trust my own judgment.
Yank.
Ladies, please. You're both just horrible. Just so horrible. No. Let's just get along until we get off the ship, okay? now the mind flayers are being attacked by demons because we're in one of the demon realm or whatever.
Do it. We will deal with the Geich after we escape.
We need to get out of here. Now. Time for some bloody work.
Victory awaits. I will not know failure.
See, that pommel strike dazed the enemy. That was my bonus action, like I was talking about.
Might as well take a look.
Oh, it's knocked out. That's interesting. So I can't attack it? Maybe I can. Yeah, I can. Okay. There, now it's dead.
Time to strike. Taking position.
Have to keep going.
Victory awaits.
Meanwhile, Trast is like, let me just loot all these bodies as we run by. You know, it's not a life or death situation or anything. I gotta stop and take loot. You understand?
Now what might you be hiding?
If the ship hits the ground, we're dead. Open up.
Hurry, before they strike.
I am fury. I am death. Make way.
Alright, so we got an onyx off this dead mind-flayer, which is great, but look at the way his tentacle is just moving around while he's dead. That is not creepy at all. Hit him with another guiding bolt.
What's in here?
So you see, I keep switching here. These are all your actions that you can take. And I have a special action called Dash that I am going to take right now.
Need to find a way forward.
To get up here real quick. So you can forfeit your attack action to get another movement action with Dash if you got a lot of ground to cover, perhaps. So while we're trying to get to the control panel, you've seen there the mind flayer and the main demon guy are fighting. So it's a good thing, because otherwise that demon dude would totally destroy us.
Focus, strike true.
Take the or Star you will have your hand.
The helm's alien transponder. You made it in time.
Yeah, the ship wasn't supposed to disappear like that. So I noticed that the character customization screen, the character creator, looked a little different since they patched the game. So they may be still having some technical issues, of course. And now I believe we'll be coming back into the material plane. So we were just then we were in Avernus, which is like the first layer of hell, or some such. And now we've come back to the prime material plane, which is known as Faerun. It's like Earth in D&D. Faerun. So we're just out in the middle of who knows where. You know, this giant ship appears in the sky. And so the locals are like, ah, get them! Goblins and such. No, I mean, I guess actually they have some idea of what's going on. The leaders do anyway. Right? Maybe. I don't know. So you might be like, what the hell was that about? Why did he just suddenly float there at the end? It was the mind flayer worm. The tadpole, as they call it, that they put in our head, gives us psychic powers now, as you'll come to see.
As you wake, the tadpole squirms in your skull.
Bro, that would be so unsettling.
Other than the infection, you're more or less intact. A miracle, given everything you've been through, but it'll all be for nothing if you don't find help soon. The tadpole is a death sentence, and the clock is ticking. You need a cure.
Alright guys, let's take a short break. I need to go get something to drink. And when we get back, we will continue our adventure as we further learn about this strange new world and what's going on. Alright, guys, we're back. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on. Trast is overcome by his own avarice. He can't help but reach for the artifact. Oh, you're awake.
What are you doing?
What? I was checking if you were alive.
I'm alive, yes. Thank you for the concern. And speaking of, how are we alive?
I was hoping you might know that.
I remember the ship. I remember falling. Then nothing.
Yeah, same. Do you have any idea where we are?
No. I don't recognize this place. But anything's an improvement on where we just came from. First things first. We need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
What happened to our Gith friend?
You might want to reconsider calling her a friend. Looks like she ran off without us.
You want to stay together, I take it?
We need each other. And we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
Alright, let's get moving.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me. It would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't. I'll remember that. Lead the way.
Yeah. No problem. Sure you would have done the same. Although, I don't know. Maybe not. She might see that I'm a drow and be like, ugh. I wonder if anybody is going to comment on it. I'm just... just find some fish in a bucket out in the middle of nowhere? I'll take that.
Fresh water. There must be a settlement somewhere nearby.
Just been out here fighting these little brain monsters. Need the bottle.
Won't get that open easily. Maybe there's another entrance.
Maybe I can pick the lock. The DC is 20? Wow, they really don't want you getting in here. That's a big no. Oh, I picked up the bottle, that's okay. Wonder, you could probably put stuff in it. You can take a lot of like general actions, like dipping. You can dip stuff. So you could probably dip that bottle in water and fill it up or whatever. Abducted commoner. See that? The fire, when you see that glow on the ground, like obviously there's fire there, but you see the embers on the floor too? Sometimes it's not quite so obvious. Yeah, don't step in embers, they will burn you.
Better stay back. One strike could be lethal.
see if I can do what I was talking about. So here you see dip.
This'll ruin someone's day.
Oh wow, yeah, that's cool. The miss was so critical, it didn't even show my animation. Flourish on him.
Got to focus.
See, you gotta be careful.
Survival isn't such a distant prospect.
It was wanting me to take a line, go around and run through the fire, and it was like, no, so I had to manually move a little bit first. By the way, don't attack this thing right here. It will explode and kill you. Now, if you can shoot it with an arrow when there's enemies near it and make it blow up and kill them. But the first time I played, I walked up to it and was like, oh, click on this, blow myself up. These tools, heck yeah. Gonna need those. I like that.
Hurry! I've got one of those brain things cornered. There, in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
What? Kill it yourself. You look capable enough.
I was hoping for a kind soul. Well, not to worry.
What the hell? Quickly roll away. Need a DC 10. Got a 14.
I saw you on the ship, strutting about whilst I was trapped in that pod. What did you and those tentacled freaks do to me?
You have it backwards. They snatched me up, too.
I'm not an idiot. I saw... Ah!
Your mind twists. You're looking out of unfamiliar eyes, prowling dark, busy streets. You try to hold the memory, but it fades to the worm. The light. The fear.
What was that? What's going on?
It was the mind-flayer's worm. It connected us.
The worm? Of course. That explains things. Somewhat. And to think, I was ready to decorate the ground with your innards. Apologies.
Glad to see we're caught up now.
Indeed we are. Please, allow me to introduce myself. My name's Astarion. I was in Baldur's Gate when those beasts snatched me.
I'm a man of wealth and fame.
A pleasure. So, do you know anything about these worms?
Yes, unfortunately, they'll turn us into mind flayers.
Turn us into... Of course it'll turn me into a monster. What else did I expect? Although, it hasn't happened yet. If we can find an expert, someone that can control these things, there might still be time.
Control it? We need to get rid of it.
Well, yes, of course. But first things first.
Maybe you should come with us. Our odds are better together.
You know, I was ready to go this alone. But maybe sticking with the herd isn't such a bad idea. And you seem like a useful person to know. All right. I accept. Lead on.
Just a moment, guys. Got someone at the door. Alrighty, sorry about that. No problem. Just somebody looking for something. That doesn't look good. Man, she's messed up.
I wonder what the next move is.
Level up, everybody. It's time to level up. Alright, health increased. What else? One spell slot, channel divinity. Turn undead, that's a good one. Pray to turn all undead that you can see. So Shadowheart here is a cleric. She serves the deity Shar, the lady of the night or whatever. Not like that. But maybe, if you're lucky. Invoke duplicity. Distract your enemies with an illusion within 10 feet of the illusion. Attack rolls have advantage for you and your allies. Advantage means you get to roll 2 d20s or 2 20-sided dice and take the higher number. Okay, she's got inflict wounds, guiding bolt, healing word, shield of faith, and cure wounds. She's a healer, so we want to keep cure wounds. Lets you heal from a distance. Or no, that's healing word, lets you heal from a distance. Cure wounds, you have to be able to touch them. Shield of Faith, protect a creature from attacks. Increase the armor class by 2. The higher your armor class is, the harder you are to hit. Guiding Bolt is good. Inflict wounds, 3 to 30 damage. Necrotic. We could replace with any of these spells down here. Command's pretty good. There it is. I don't know if that heals them or not, though. I was trying to heal her. Alright, let's see, what did I get? More hit points. Hide, cunning action, hide, dash, and disengage. So now I can dash as a bonus action, which is really good. And then hide and disengage, they're good for stealth. And then yes, Astarion as well will need to level up. And so you can switch your characters too if you press L2.
Never a dull moment.
Switch between them. Why? I'm trying to figure out. Why is my guy's avatar so gray? I mean, I know like I have gray skin, but the whole thing looks gray for some reason. I don't get it.
There, a mind-flayer. It's hard.
That thing's bound to be dangerous, even if injured. Best be careful.
You approach the dying monster. This is the thing that abducted you. You could end its life here and now, if only you didn't feel compassion. Compassion.
No. You should be furious. Shouldn't you?
Yes, you feel hate. And you deserve to be punished for it. You should be whipped, made to bow before this creature in shame. It's possessing your mind, forcing you to love it. But then the feeling slips. The creature's mind seems to focus elsewhere.
Concentrate on its thoughts.
Your minds fuse, lusting for something that is gone. But then its grip claws back with a vengeance, a vice locking your mind into obedience. It needs sustenance to survive, and with your very body you can provide.
Lean in for a little kissy kiss. No. Resist the intrusion with everything you have. Oh no! Critical failure! Wow. Y'all about to see me die? That's amazing. I should have broke away when I had the chance, but I wanted to see what would happen. And this is what we call fucking around and finding out, chat.
And for the first time in your life, you're perfectly happy.
Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, he gets up. And whoa. For real? Wow, what's going on? They're gonna fight? I guess technically they could res me. But we're not doing that. So something you're gonna be seeing a lot in this game is reloading. Unfortunately, that's going to send us pretty far back now that I think about it. That's okay. We'll just run through it real quick. It's no problem.
You're alive. I remember the first thing we might have. We need each other, and we. It would have been all too easy for you to run, right? Lead the way.
Fresh water. There must be a settlement somewhere nearby.
So, unfortunately, you can... This is the thing with this game, is like, you gotta save a lot, and you gotta be careful. Because if not, you can mess up and have to go back pretty good little ways like this. But it's really not as far back as it might seem. I can get through pretty quickly. But I am going to have to remember to save.
More of those wretched things.
I wasn't expecting that to happen, but, you know, that's how it goes. You let your guard down, right? And you learn a lesson.
Better stay back.
All good, though.
One strike could be lethal. I need a little extra edge.
Use every advantage.
Need any advantage I can get.
Can't give up. You fight well. Perhaps our survival isn't such a distant prospect.
in the grass. I was hoping...
And then sometimes things just don't work out your
Let's try
way.
to keep that lovely neck of you. And you, keep your distance. No need for this to get messy.
I need him alive. Stow that blade, or I'll show you just how messy things can get.
Promises, promises. But I have other business, I'm afraid. Now, I saw you on the ship, didn't I? Not? You son of a...
Your mind. You try to hold.
What was that? The worm. And to think, I was ready to decorate. Indeed we are. My name's Astarion. A pleasure. So, do you know anything about these worms? Turn us into... Although, it hasn't happened yet. You know, and you... All right.
Don't forget to save, chat. Pretty much, you want to save anytime
A mind-flayer.
you do anything
That thing's bound to be
significant.
dangerous, even if injured. Best be careful.
You approach the dying monster. You could end its compassion. Compassion. Yes, you should be whipped. Made to bow. It's possessing your mind, but then the feeling slips. The creature's mind
Take
seems to
advantage
focus
of the
elsewhere.
lapse and break
The
free.
monster lies exhausted, defeated. Its eyes, wet orange pearls, radiate malice.
Let's close those eyes forever for what it did to us in the other timeline.
Monster.
And just what it did to us
Death
in
is too
general.
good for it.
Caustic bulb? No thanks. Gross. So that's the mind flayer that put the tadpoles on our heads, right?
Dead goblins over there. Worth checking for supplies, maybe.
Don't need the bone.
What's going on with that room? Looks unstable somehow.
Approach the sigil on the stone. Magic glitters and swirls from it erratically, as if malfunctioning. It looks slightly dangerous.
Normally, I wouldn't recommend touching something like this. I guess there was the hint with it. It said slightly dangerous.
A hand? Anyone?
But if you don't, then you won't get this character. So I almost missed him the first time because of that. Rogue, sleight of hand. With a keen but calculated twist, you attempt to sabotage the sigil? What? I don't know what that... Nah, that don't sound right. Grab the hand and pull. Slap the hand. Get away from me! Bruh. I am just not having good luck right now. What's gonna happen?
Come on, put your back into it!
Pull again as hard as you can. A 12, it got harder to do. Great. There we go.
That's it! Go on! Keep pulling! Hello. I'm Gale of Waterdeep. Apologies. I'm usually better at this.
No need for apologies. Are you alright?
A bit shocked, but friend, it's a relief and a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Say, but I know you, don't I? In a manner of speaking. You were on the Norse Lloyd as well.
Oh, yeah, I was.
Then I can only assume you too were on the receiving end of a rather unwelcome insertion in the ocular region.
Couldn't have phrased it more repellently myself.
No use sugarcoating it, is there? The insertee we speak of, this parasite, are you aware that after a period of excruciating gestation, it will turn us into mind-flayers? It's a process known as ceremorphosis, and let me assure you, it is to be avoided.
It is to be avoided.
You don't happen to be a cleric by any chance, do you? A doctor? Surgeon? Uncannily adroit with a knitting needle?
No, afraid not.
You seem to know enough about our condition to realize it's beyond most clerics' skills.
Most, no doubt. But I find myself hoping to be in the presence of the few. You don't happen to be one of them.
I'm no stranger to high-stakes extractions, but these tadpoles are beyond even my light fingers. I can't cure us.
As we've established, few enough can. It's not exactly a common affliction. We're most certainly going to need a healer, and soon, too. How about we lend each other a helping hand once more and look for a healer together?
Sounds like a plan. You're welcome to join me.
Most excellent. A parasite shared is a parasite halved. Or something to that effect. Oh, but before you think you're about to embark on a journey with most ill-mannered a man, thank you for pulling me out of that stone. It was an act of foresighted kindness, I assure you. For I have the feeling ample opportunities will present themselves for me to return the favor.
Zoru was right. Yellow as a toad and twice as ugly.
The thing's dangerous. Leave it for the goblins to kill.
Your skull pounds in response to the prisoner's white-hot stare. Her lips don't move. Yet you hear her voice.
Get rid of them.
Holy hells. Under elf.
Ooh.
Playtime.
Intimidation. See, now right there, they're not giving me a choice to do persuasion, which is what you would normally do here. They see that I'm a drow and immediately just assume I'm a bad guy. Very nice. It's accurate to the lore of the game. I think that's pretty cool. It's unfortunate, that discrimination, exists in this world, but that's the way of things. Let me see if I can intimidate him. Ooh, only a 5 required.
Demaze.
Come, Emissa. Now.
Enough gawking. Get me down.
What did he didn't say or do anything. I don't know if that was a glitch or if that's, if it's just, I feel like there was supposed to be another little scene there and for them to react to, but whatever. Also, I didn't get a chance to talk to her. As soon as they saw me, they were like, oh no, he's a drow. Say please.
Never.
Bruh. Y'all didn't even give me a chance to talk.
Observe and listen. You'll hear
it's gonna be hard to talk my way out of things as a drow. Honestly, but I'm gonna try. Oh cool, there's just a short bow right there. They're like, you might need this. So in order to get her down, you're gonna have to shoot the bottom of this cage she's in. Just make sure not to hit her. See how at the top of the screen it says weakened base? Whenever you highlight something, it'll tell you at the top of the screen what it is.
The tadpole hasn't yet scrambled all your senses. Auspicious. But the longer we wait, the more it consumes. My people possess the cure for this infection. I must find a creche. You will join me.
Careful. She obviously sees your kindness as weakness. Don't let her take advantage.
And what exactly is a creche?
It is many things. A hatchery, a training grounds, a shelter. Githyanki protocol is clear. When infected with a Gaith tadpole, we must report to Augustil for purification.
Simple thank you wouldn't go amiss.
You may as well suggest a wyvern bow to worms. The cure I offer will suffice as thanks.
We'll see if we ever get there. Alright, we'll journey together. Let's find this creche of yours.
You are full up. Dismiss your weakest warrior.
Okay, wait at my camp in the meantime. We can speak there.
Very well. But heed my words. The Horned Ones mentioned a camp. One there, this Zoru, has seen Githyanki. A creche must be near. I must interrogate this Zoru. Our very lives depend on it. I will be at your camp. Do not keep me waiting.
Okay, so in order to go to your camp, you press R2 in the case if playing on console like I am. If you're playing on PC, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not about that life. I'm sorry. I'm not elite enough yet, but we'll get there. In any case, you go to this menu here where you have all these options. This is your character sheet. That's like where you're going to go to do your inventory and stuff. But if you want to camp, go to camp. You got to go down. Hold down on the stick to go to camp. So you get your own like private like little camp area and your own. It's almost like a little pocket dimension, which is kind of appropriate because in traditional D&D, you could make there's a simple spell. I think it's called like I can't remember what it's called actually, but it's like campsite or something like that actually. And you can make your own little camp. It's not nearly this big or whatever. It's just like a little. It's almost like a tent that you can get inside of where you can't be disturbed while you're in there. But anyway, it's kind of neat. You have your own campsite, and it'll change. This campsite will change depending on where you're at the time when you go to it. So I guess the idea is just that they set up camp somewhere nearby, and you can go around and talk to everybody and do everything. You kind of really need to use this camp quite a bit, so get familiar with it. And Gale can level up. We need to. We got a couple people here already. We got to decide who we want to bring with us. I'm gonna have Asterion stay at camp.
I am enjoying the latest addition to our little group. Lae'zel is delightful. In a very look at me twice and I'll dismember you kind of way, of course.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us about yourself, Asterion?
Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
Okay. Astarion's a great character. Normally, I mean, I have him in the party quite a bit normally. So for this playthrough, I'm probably not going to be using him very much because, sorry Asterion, there's really only room enough for one rogue in the party, and I'm going to be filling that role. So I think it's better if you stay in camp for a while.
Oh, darling, I'm hurt. I thought we had something special.
No, sorry. I'm going to need you to stay.
I guess I'll spend my evenings lounging here while you do all the hard work. It sounds awful.
Yeah, however will you get by. And in the meantime, we'll bring Lae'zel with us instead.
Chatter already?
We're going to need a heavy armor fighter type in the party. Do you know much about mind-flayers?
I understand much beyond your comprehension. More to the point, I know the cure for our condition. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe more and question less.
Okay. Do you know what happens if we don't find a cure?
Yes, in great detail. It starts with a fever and memory loss. Then you start to hallucinate. Your hair falls out, and you bleed from every orifice. Your bones will change form. Your jaw will split to allow room for 4 great tentacles. All skin will turn to gore and be shed to reveal new flesh underneath. Then you have ceased to exist, and a mind-flayer is born.
That sounds absolutely wonderful. Actually, that sounds awful. How are you so calm?
Because I do not intend to let this happen. Not to me, and if you stick with me, not to you. We must find my kind and be rid of the parasite. It's as simple as that. The first symptoms should have long since started, though. That is what puzzles me.
Yeah. You're worried we haven't changed yet. That's good news, isn't it?
Yes, if you give it no further thought. But anomalies lead to surprises. Bad surprises. Besides, what hasn't happened may yet come to pass.
True. Anyway, I was hoping you could come with us now.
It is done.
Alright, cool. Let's see what we got in my box. Let's just go ahead and grab some of this up real quick. I need that. Oh, that's cool. It looks different now.
I applaud your taste.
Go ahead and throw that on for me, buddy. Doesn't he look cool with that? So what you can do is triangle to toggle the helmet. Yeah, what does it say right now? Show helmet, hide during dialogue, hide helmet. Let's just hide that bad boy.
No one's stopped me yet.
What is this, bicorn of the sea beast? No. Please take this thing off. There we go. Got a little cape for us. Couple little things.
Lovely day this. For now. And these things have stayed interesting. Oh, I have the magic touch.
Leveling up as a wizard. Get a specialization, more health points, spell slots. So D&D is kind of confusing about spell slots. You have so many spell slots that you can use per day, and basically, like, so you can cast a limited number of spells per day. You don't have like magic points or whatever. So more spell slots means more spells that you can cast. And you can decide which spells you want to cast. You can only cast them a limited number of times. Evocation Savant. Learning evocation spells from scrolls cost half as much, becoming 25 gold pieces per spell level. Sculpt spells. Create pockets of safety within your evocation spells. Allies automatically succeed their saving throws against these spells and take no damage from them. Okay. And then 2 new spells. Evocation spells focus elemental energies into powerful attacks and enchantments. Those who specialize in these schools are known as evokers. Learning evocation spells from scrolls only costs you 25 gold per spell level, not 50. Okay. Then there's necromancy, conjuration. Compelled by shape and motion, your favorite arcane style involves summoning creatures and objects. Enchantments, your magic influence beguiles and bends the will and convictions of those around you. Divination, you peer through time itself and can sculpt the future like temporal clay into a more favorable form. So I think you get this Savant either way, depending on which one you pick. Specialize in unraveling and Restricting the fabrics of reality to fool the unwary, the gullible, and the monstrous. Transmutation, your innate fascination with the structure of things has granted you an incredible power over crude matter and its manipulation. Abjuration. Summon wards, banish enemies, and nullify magic, suitable for those who wish to defend themselves and others. I think I'll go with evocation. I like elemental magics. As such, there's burning hands. So we got to pick 2 spells here. We got 2 spell slots. Put 2 spells in there. Fire and ice, maybe. We'll go fire and ice for now. You can always change it later if you want. So these are prepared spells. These are the spells that we can cast. These are all the spells that we know, but you have to pick which spells you currently have memorized. It's kind of crazy. Grease. That's like you put down grease on the ground, it makes it hard for people to walk around. We got burning hands in there. Thunderwave, sleep, witch bolt, mage armor. Those are all good. Put our ice knife in there. Action surge, that's a good one. That lets you take another action.
Let's get going. I hear shouting up ahead.
We should check it out, but be careful.
If you hold down, you can start sneaking. We can see something's going on. See if we can figure it out.
Open the bloody gate! Nobody gets in! Zevlor's orders! That pack of goblins will be on us any second! What's going on? Goblins are on our tail! Open the gate, Zevlor, now! You let goblins here? Where is the druid? Please! There's no time! By the 9 hells! Open the gates! Damnable roach! Provoke the blade and suffer its sting.
Alright, so because we have snuck up right behind these guys, we couldn't see them before because they were hiding. which basically made him invisible. But now we have got a perfect position to start this battle. I won't always be able to do this, but if I've played ahead and I know what we're doing, I can. But if I go into it blind, then there's no guarantee. But in any case, now that we're right here behind them, let's see if we can get a sneak attack. I guess she's seen us already, so I can't do that. Unless I could hide. Do I have cunning? I have cunning action hide. I don't know if that would work or not, though. I think I'll just go ahead and hit her. Oh, that got her. One hit. Nice.
Scout! Get to the high ground! Raiders! Charge the bastards! For the absolute! Ah!
Your time has come.
Make way.
Mistraril. With ease.
Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
By sickle and sword, strike them down!
One day I'll catch a break.
Every last one of you!
On my way. Take two.
Let's see if we can make one of these guys grovel. See if he's dumb enough to fall for it. It's like magic. We have to be able to like overpower his mind. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's groveling now.
Taking position.
Be a gentleman.
Not really sure exactly what happened there. It looked like it may have an area of effect, so I have to be more careful with that.
Outflank, outsmart.
Oh, I have advantage on him so I can sneak attack.
You picked the wrong fight, friend. That was the last of them. Inside! All of you! More may follow! Open the gate! Done. Good. Damn them.
They were tenacious. I wonder what they wanted here, other than bloodshed.
A taste of goblins to come, I fear. Must be a horde nearby.
There are children here, you fool!
We was running for our lives.
You led them straight to us, and you let them take the druid too? Unbelievable!
Ah, backstabbing. This feels just like home.
Pull your claws in, under-elf.
Show some respect. This man saved your pathetic life.
Well,
I couldn't
didn't
resist.
ask for any goddamn help.
Please, you were begging me to open the gate. Anything to save yourself, you coward!
The human's eye twitches. He's about to blow.
More violence won't bring back those you lost. Stop and think for a second. I'm just not having any luck with my rolls today. Sorry, guys. Let's try to roll again. I've got some inspiration that'll let me roll again. Is that any better? That's still not going to do it. Ah, what a shame. Okay.
Should have done that a long time ago. Arrogant prick had it out for me from day one. No one leaves my people out cold.
You put him in a bind showing up like that, and he did try to open the gate. So you knocked him out cold instead? Clever.
Only way he shut that hole under his nose. He was right, though. Coming back to this hellhole was a mistake no amount of gold can put right. I'd rather face another round of goblins than stay in this pit.
Alrighty.
For once.
Let's try to avoid any more punching. We need to find a healer.
Dang, he's straight knocked out. Let's try to run that back. I'm not happy with the way that goes. So, something that we will be doing quite a bit is loading saves and saving quite a bit, loading saves, trying different things.
There are children here, you...
We was running.
You led them straight to us, and you let them take the druid too? Unbelievable!
Guys, I've seen much bloodier battles than this. Consider yourselves lucky.
And who the hell are you again?
Show some respect. This man saved your pathetic life.
Well, I didn't ask for any goddamn help.
Please, you were begging me to open the gate. Anything to save yourself, you coward!
The human's eye twitches. He's about
See, sometimes
to blow.
it rolls automatically. That's what that in the upper left-hand corner. Succeeded insight. I succeeded insight saving throw to read his reactions, which we want to be able to read people really well so that we can persuade them. Let's try this again. Come on, guys. More violence isn't the answer. Look at this. I've got a +6. 2 for my charisma, 2 for my persuasion proficiency, and 2 for my persuasion expertise. So I just need to roll a 9 or better. There we go.
You're right. There's too much at stake.
Worried about your precious hides? The both of you.
Enough! Squabbling is pointless. The goblins have found us.
At least we agree on that.
Goblins could be on their way.
I'm more worried about this parasite than a few goblins. We need a healer.
Oh, that was interesting. You could see them take a short rest. That seems like something's new. I never noticed that before. So you can take a short rest to heal, and it looked like that's what they did. Because they're a party of adventurers too. They're just NPCs, right? That's pretty neat.
Forgive that display. Aradin's a blowhard, but that's no cause for me to join him. I wouldn't have looked to a drow for help, but I'm grateful all the same. I'm Zevlor.
Interesting. So my race is gonna play a role in it. That's cool. So I'm a drow, and he's a tiefling, which they kind of look like demons, so they're typically discriminated against as well. Shadowheart back there is a half elf, half human. Gale is human, and Lizelle is Githyanki, which I had never even heard of that race. Granted, I haven't played traditional D&D in a long time. We do a lot of homebrews and just use like older versions and stuff. So I'm not real familiar with the Githyanki. They kind of look like orcs or whatever, but there's a separate orc race and half orc and everything. So Githyanki's is like its own thing. So that's pretty cool. I would like to learn more about them. Oh, sorry, I was talking to my party. I'm Trast.
Well met. I should warn you, visitors are no longer welcome in this grove. Whatever your business, I'd see to it quickly. The druids are forcing everyone out. This attack will only strengthen their resolve.
I have no quarrel with the druids. Why are they forcing you out?
There have been several attacks by different monsters. The druids blame us outsiders for drawing them here. Nobody's welcome anymore. They've started a ritual to cut the grove off from the world outside. We can't stay, but we'll be slaughtered if we leave. We're no fighters.
This ritual, is there no way to convince the druids to stop?
I've tried. Korga, their new first druid, won't even see me. You, though... I know it's not your business, but she owes you for saving this place. Perhaps you could persuade her. For more time to prepare, if nothing else.
Yeah, I have my own temporal concerns. I need a healer.
Goblin got you. The druid Halsin's a renowned healer, but he didn't make it back from Aradin's expedition. If it's not too serious, you could try his apprentice Nettie. She's with the other druids in the inner grove. They've withdrawn there to prepare this damn ritual of theirs.
Okay, I'll find her and I'll speak to Kaga while I'm there.
I think you should. Yes. No harm in trying the diplomatic route.
We'd owe you a great debt. If we're forced to leave now, we won't make it to the city. You'll find the druids at the heart of the grove. Please, make them see sense. Oh, and if it's of any concern, you're brave to walk around without hiding your heritage. I'll make sure everyone knows that you helped us at the gate.
Cool. Alright, cool.
I care about our lives, our future.
No, you just care about your stupid apprenticeship.
Take that back, right now.
Refugees, adventurers, and even a drow. No one in years, and suddenly we're overwhelmed. Well met. And thank you for beating back those goblins. Most brave of you. Is there anything you need? Act fast if you do. The ritual will be complete before too long.
Are you really locking down the grove?
I know it's drastic, but more monsters seem to terrorize this region every day.
What about the people here?
We druids will be safe. As for those that took refuge here, well... may Sylvanas guard them as they continue their travels.
Dire times, high stakes. I understand.
You sound just like Korga. But it had to come to this. I pray to Sylvanas each night. The Wildfather will protect those refugees. I hope.
So anyway, what are you selling?
Just some bits and bobs I no longer need.
What are you selling? Actually, it's what I'm selling that may interest you. Goblin bows. Goblin scimitars. Keep one of each just in case for now. And so you gotta be careful. You might even save before doing any major selling and buying, because things can definitely go wrong. But I'm just doing a little light selling and buying at the moment. Don't need any of that mixed coffee. Might want to sell that onyx, peridot. Save those plants. That's good for now. Anybody else in the party got any extra stuff they need to sell? Say hand axe, you don't need that. Nah, I think we're good. Shadowheart, it's got a bow. Are you gonna use that goblin bow, Shadowheart? Oh, here we go. Onyx. Gives us some money to work with. What are these? The gloves of missile snaring? Those are good. We'll get those later. Okay, cool. So we'll leave it at that for now.
Sylvanas, guide your path.
Can we stop shouting? No?
And we're just gonna come back out here so we have a nice little scene.
These tieflings prove fragile. I've a mind to end their misery myself.
Oh, calm down, Lizelle.
Calm yourself. They're survivors, not soldiers.
Okay, everybody stop
I
talking.
fail to see the distinction.
Guys. I'm trying to do my outro here, okay? No. But no, actually, yeah, I think that's going to do it for this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. Welcome to the wonderful world of Faerun and D&D. This is about as close as you can get to it with a video game. Literally, you could do almost anything in tabletop role-playing, because you just describe what you want to do, and then the GM or the game master will decide what happens based on the rules and their discretion. But I like how they tried to incorporate things like your ability to dip and push and throw. Like I was saying, they give you general options for stuff you can do to kind of like just make it to where you can try to be creative and come up with your own solutions and stuff, and just give you more range and freedom of what kind of stuff you can do. So yeah, that's just like one cool aspect to this type of RPG. You know, it's very elaborate, and it pulls from the traditional tabletop role playing, and that's why you also see it's not only turn-based, but it's kind of like real-time strategy where you have to move your characters around, and you know, positioning and everything really matters a lot too. So a lot of times in D&D they have the figures and the maps and everything. We didn't really play with figures as much, but it does definitely help you be aware of the space you're in, and who's who, and where everybody is and what's going on. So, and it's fun to have the figures and to paint them and customize them and everything. So I do recommend that if you get the chance. But yeah, if this game could help introduce people into D&D more, I think that's really great as well. To bring those two worlds together, just really fun stuff. Especially with tabletop, you're playing with friends, you know, and everything, and it's just like a fun group activity and everything. So I just highly recommend it. And again, I hope everybody enjoyed this stream. This will be one of the main games going into rotation right now. At the moment, I've got like 4 different games, I think, that are going to be our main games that we're going to be playing. So look forward to this. We'll definitely be coming back to it and playing through it at some point. I'm going to try to get through all of it, but it's a really big game, so we'll see how it goes. I still haven't even gotten through it all in my personal playthrough. It's a lot to digest, and it's kind of slow going, honestly, because you kind of got to figure it out as you're going along, and there's a lot of saving and backtracking and reloading and everything. But hopefully I can stay far enough ahead that I'll have some idea of what to do whenever I stream it for you guys, so that we're just not wasting a lot of time with me figuring it out. You know, that's not so fun in my opinion. But yeah, anyway, that's the general idea. So I think that's going to do it for this introductory video to Baldur's Gate. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care, guys. See you around.